Hello and happy Father's Day from Sendero Wealth Management. Ed, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
So as we've discussed, my oldest son Bryce just graduated high school, and he's poised to take off for Texas A&M in a few months.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And you've got two amazing young men that are a few years ahead of my boys.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get your general advice on sending my son off to college.
Well, I guess the first thing I'd say is I know your boys, and I know they're terrific young men, and you and Melissa should be very proud. So the hard work is done. And then for college, I think generally speaking, what we've learned is, you're at this stage, somebody has told me before, you're not raising young boys, you're raising young men, and you need to treat them accordingly. So college, of course, is this great independent step. And I think that is kind of the one thing to keep in mind. Let them make their own decisions. One thing that I always thought about when we started was that, we used to have one weekly regimented collect call made by me to parents. Well, those days are over. We're in a highly communicated society. And so, I will lean in and send a text or call regularly because our job is to encourage, love, support, but also hold accountable these boys turning into young men. So that's kind of the broad advice is check in and support, but also hold them accountable.
So I mentioned Bryce is going to A&M. That's my wife Melissa's alma mater. How have y'all treated partying with your sons when you've gone to visit them?
Pass. But I will say that we like to have a good time when we're up there with them, and they make it very clear when it's time for us to step back and head home. So that works itself out.
So in that light, tell me how you and Melinda found balance between being involved, but giving them independence where needed.
So I think it sort of naturally evolved for us because Melinda's more inclined to be more hands-on, I think, and I'm a little bit more inclined to be laissez-faire. And I think that tension between us is very natural, and frankly, it's really positive, and it's helped us solve for when there's something that they can't take care of themselves, which I maybe think they can. She says, you know what, let's lean in a little harder and help them out. So there's a good balance there because neither of us is right or wrong necessarily about that approach, but the balance has been very good.
Okay. Tell me what your favorite thing has been about watching your boys navigate college.
I think it's more just, again, back to them slowly becoming men. They are much more independent thinkers now. They've made all these friends from out of state on their own. The sports have been fun, but that's really incidental to the fact that they're smart. They have the education's been great. When they lean in and start telling us about some of the things they've learned on their own in a class schedule that they've all come up with on their own, it's very gratifying. And then I think most importantly, they are starting to really think about what's next. And their peer groups are all very aggressively looking for jobs or have them. And so that's been a very gratifying thing to watch.
What do I not want to know?
Pass. Happy Father's Day from Sendero.